And this week, our topic is what is a pen name and why would you use it? Hello, Michael, and hello, Home Studios. All right. So today and every week we have a different topic. We are going to be moving the lives from Monday morning at 9:05 to Wednesday mornings at 9:05 starting in October. So I will be scheduling these out every week on Wednesday starting in October. So just make sure that you'll get the notification if you subscribe to me on Substack. So make sure you're subscribed because every week we do a different topic and you can put any questions you have about writing or publishing in the comments at any time. And it doesn't have to be about the topic that I'm talking about today, which is pen names. But if it is, that's awesome too. All right. So, what is a pen name? I've been getting this a lot in the past 6 months from clients and people interested in ghostwriting and book editing. So, a pen name is simply a name that you choose that is not your given or legal name, and you're using that to write as authorship to write your book. So, for example, I have a creator name, which is my creator pen name, Elikqitie. And that is the name that I used when I started my first podcast, Travel Gluten Free. And so it really caught on very fast in the podcasting space. And a lot of people are like, that's such a cool name. I love it. I really like the way it sounds. And so I started using it all the time as my creator name. So everyone in the podcasting industry knows me as Elikqitie. So my first podcast I ever produced for myself, not for other clients, is called Travel Gluten Free, and that was back in 2017. I put that together. It's still up. You can still listen to it. It's actually here on Substack, but I'm not currently producing it. However, it's still the content's still out there. The content is still relevant and good, so I can keep it up. Anyway, people were really, as the podcast was really growing and I had enough content to make a book. So I made my book, The Guide to Traveling Gluten Free. But since everyone on my podcast knows me as Elikqitie, for me to author the book as Lynn Smargis would have been confusing for people. So I authored the book as Elikqitie. So that book actually it's not on Amazon right now because I'm transferring it out and it will be back on Amazon because I'm republishing it. However, that book, the author is Elikqitie, which is me. But since my show, Travel Gluten Free, is hosted by myself, which under my pen name Elikqitie, I made the book under Elikqitie as well. So that's one reason you want to use a pen name. It's just to keep your branding like the same, right? So like anything I do under Travel Gluten Free, I always say this is Elikqitie. I don't say Lynn because my Elikqitie is my creator pen name that I use under that brand. Okay, so it can be a creator pen name, it can be an author pen name. So some authors have different pen names for each genre that they write. So, for example, I was reading about an author. She has one pen name for her like romantasy books, and then she has another pen name for her sci-fi books, and then she has a third pen name for her horror books because for one author to be known for all of those three things can be confusing to people sometimes. So that's why she separated them all out. And so each genre has a different pen name or author. So everybody knows this author writes horror, author writes fantasy, this author writes sci-fi. But it's actually all the same author. But it's really good for your branding and to keep your branding consistent if you have all of the same genre under that pen name. And remember, my friends, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I will answer them for you today on this Ask Me Anything Live. So another reason to have a pen name is I recently had a client and she was in an abusive situation, but she wanted to write about it in a book. And so she asked me, should I use a pen name? And I was asking her questions like, well, are the people that were in the situation that abused you still alive? Do you feel comfortable using your regular name? Are there other people you feel like it would affect that would like negatively affect them? You know, and there's lots of other reasons, especially in those situations where you have trauma associated with writing a book, you would want to have a different pen name. So she decided to have a different pen name other than her regular given name because for several different reasons, but one of them was because several of the people that did abuse her were still alive. And also she didn't want her friends or family to be attached to that content if they didn't want to be. So she was also being respectful of other people who were reading her content. And not that she couldn't have used her real name, she absolutely could have used her real name, but she didn't feel comfortable using her real name in that situation. So she decided to go with a pen name, and so that's why she used a pen name for that. Another reason you might want to use a pen name is just because you have a regular business, a 9 to 5 job, and you want to write, but you don't want your employer or the people that you work with knowing that you wrote that book. That does happen sometime. And it's not that the book is erotica or something that's it doesn't even have to be a controversial subject for you to have a pen name. It might just be you want your 9 to 5 job associated with your legal name, and you want your authorship associated with a pen name, right? Because it's not your normal 9 to 5. It might be a side hustle. So might want your side hustle people to associate you with a different name. And or you may not want your people in the 9 to 5 job know that you are an author of a specific genre or just an author in general. So, okay, Home Studio Build says, I'm sorry, I don't know your first name. So, a pen name helps you protect others that are related to us, same way Spider Man kept his secret identity. Yes, absolutely. So, Spider Man, Superman, Clark Kent, all of those things, they were using pen names, right, to keep their regular 9 to 5 identity, their 9 to 5 identity, right? Because they didn't want people to know they were a superhero. Oh, hi, Junaid. I couldn't see your picture because I don't have my glasses on. Sorry. Awesome. Yes. So that is exactly what a pen name is. So just like Spider-Man and Superman and Batman and all those superheroes, Wonder Woman have their real names in their 9 to 5 life, right? Then they had their pen names in their basically their secret lives, like Batman, Superman, and all that stuff, right? So all of the superheroes, almost all of them, right, have their secret identity, and then they have their known identity. So a pen name is kind of like, you can consider it like a superhero identity. Thanks, Jeannie. That's a really great thing. I love that. So you could consider your pen name your writing superhero identity, and to have that different little bit of persona that represents a different genre or a different part of you or a different thing that you do in your life, right? So it's kind of like when you're little and you're playing dress up or pretend, and you pretend to be somebody else and you have a different name. It's the same thing with a pen name, right? It can also be related to that. It can be like, hey, it's kind of like you're being an author and you're playing dress up as an author, right? So you have a pen name that resonates with that personality or that you're writing for, and or resonates with the avatar that you're writing for as well. You might pick a different pen name because maybe your name is very common and it's easy to get mixed up with other people. And so you want to pick a pen name that is unique or is more uncommon than your given name, because then people will remember it because it's unique, like Elikqitie, right? I don't know anyone else with that name. And so when people see me at podcast festivals over and over again, they remember my name because it is unique and no one else has it. And so that's another reason why you might want a pen name, is because your name is really common and it might be hard to find you online. So using a pen name would be a really great way for people to more easily find you online if they're doing a search for you and or a search for your book, right? So all of these reasons are good reasons to have pen names. And by the way, if you have any other questions, please put them in the chat. I love answering questions on this topic or any other topic you have about writing and publishing. I do want to, okay, this is interesting too, now that I've written books on 3 different genres, from children's books to studio books. Yes, to storybooks. Yes. So for me, I'm actually working on a romance book. So my romance book is not going to be penned under Elikqitie. And it's also not going to be penned under my business name, Lynn Smargis, which is my given name, right? So Lynn Smargis, I write all my nonfiction, self-help / business type books. And so Elikqitie, I'm writing all my travel stuff, but I'm going to have a third pen name for my romance book that's coming out sometime this spring. And I'm really excited about that book. It's my first romance book, my first fiction book I've ever written, but it definitely does not fit the genre of nonfiction business. So I'm going to have a third pen name. I may have multiple pen names. I'm going to have to keep all these file folders with different pen names and what books I've written on which ones, so I can keep track of them all eventually. Because I'm right now I'm doing about 2 books a year. I'm publishing about 2 books a year. And so that's really saying I love writing and publishing books. That's one of my favorite things to do for myself and for my clients that I ghostwrite for. So last week we talked about this very subject on my virtual writing retreat, and it was that virtual writing retreat was great. We had 14 participants coming in to write books, and the average word count people wrote on that writing retreat was about 2,000 words. So we literally, as a group collectively, wrote over 12,000 words together just that one day, right? That's almost half a book, which is really impressive, or is half a book, depending on how big your book is. So we had a great time sitting and writing together. So if you are looking to get one of those virtual writing retreat days in because you missed the first one, I'm having another one coming up in November. So I will put, once this posts, I will put the link to sign up in the post for this, at the very bottom for the virtual writing retreat. Make sure you click on that link and sign up, and then you'll get all of the updated information on the virtual writing retreat as we get closer to November. So, and it was really fun. Not only did we do, excuse me, my allergies are really acting up today. Not only did we do writing blocks, but we did some networking. We did some fun graffiti boards on Canva on like what we learned and what our goals were for that day. And we also had some really great conversations at lunch, just some fun stuff on like what our favorite book was. And we put pictures of our pets in the chat and all that stuff. So it was a really fun day. So not only did we get a lot of work done, we also got a lot of fun and got to know each other better. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely make sure you sign up for the next one in November. All right, if you have any other questions, drop them in the comments. If not, we're going to be wrapping this up in a couple minutes. Thank you all for joining me today on my Ask My Anything live. And remember, we're switching over to Wednesday starting in October. So I think next Wednesday, this will be the last Monday. No, I think next Monday is the last Monday I'll do a live. So next week, I'll actually be doing 2 lives, one on Monday, because it will be, I think, the last day in September. And then I'll do another one on Wednesday because it's going to start the week of my first Wednesday of October. I hope you're all having a fabulous start to your week. And I look forward to seeing you soon on one of my platforms. Have a great day. And I hope to see you again soon next week on Ask Me Anything Live. Bye.